Hello English 2, it's your favorite English teacher here, Mr. Eaton, and I'm back with another video. This is for the Glass Castle. We left off on parts 4 and 5 worksheet on question 12, so I'm just going to get right into it. So number 12, explain the new schedule for the mom and the dad, and how is it an adventure? They're both homeless, so they've got basically an open schedule. They can do whatever they'd like, and yeah, it's an adventure for them. Number 13, refuting Professor Fuchs. How does Jeanette know anything about being poor? She grew up poor. She understands that there are some people out there that are definitely okay with being poor and not doing anything, and dragging everyone down the same path if necessary, because that's just who they are. Number 14, how does Dad improve after being sick? Why does he get worse once the mom tells him to move back? So he gets sick, and when he gets sick, he decides to stop drinking alcohol. He gets a job, he moves into kind of a more of a redneckish town as best as he can. He's actually working, he's getting a lot better, he's becoming a better father by being away from the mother, but then the mother tells him to move back. He goes back to drinking, he goes back to being homeless, no job, etc. Interesting. Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. Jeanette is thinking about dropping out. How does the dad convince her not to? And why is Jeanette unwilling to accept the money? She doesn't have the money to pay for college, and Dad convinces her to go back by gambling and making a bunch of money so that she has enough money to finish college. Yay! A good deed. Number 16. How are Dad and Eric foils? Dad is this eccentric drunk, poor, redneckish, fighting all the time, whereas Eric is rich, he's more delicate, he is almost the complete opposite of Dad. He's kind, he's willing to do things, compromises, etc. But yeah. Anyways, number 17, Jim dies and Mom says they need to buy his land. It is then revealed how much money the land Mom has owned the entire time costs. How much money could the Walls have had if she would have sold her land? And how much do you like the mom after hearing this? This is the part of the book that made me throw the book out the window. And I picked it up with my children because I threw them out the window too. Just kidding, that's a joke. This is the part where it really boiled my blood, like a lot. The land could have been worth as much as $1 million if the mother would have sold it. She refused to sell it because that's just who she was as a person. They could have been living really, really well. However, we're not sure if they would have been able to manage that money well enough, or because look how the way they were spending their money. But at the same time, they would have been living a lot better than what they were. My gosh. They had to eat food with maggots on it. Number 18. What is probably wrong with Maureen? There's probably a lot wrong with Maureen. She's got a lot of issues. She doesn't have a lot of family support like the others. She seems to be more like the fourth kid. Therefore, she doesn't get a lot of support from mom and dad, the kids, the others have careers, going on careers. And what does she do to mom? She stabs the mom. Goes to prison because of it. Number 19, where does Maureen go after she gets out of jail? And why does Jeanette blame herself? She moves to California, buys a ticket, and goes. And Jeanette blames herself because she always said she'd be there for Maureen. And as you can tell throughout the entirety of the book, she's barely mentioned. Jeanette kind of thinks inward, thinks of herself than she does about Maureen. Number 20, why is the dad dying according to Dad? Oh, he got into a fight, got some bad blood in him. That's not actually true. Why is he actually dying? Alcoholism. Liver's probably giving out. Number 21, why does Jeanette want to check her father out of the hospital Rex Wall style one more time? You know, family tradition. Also, it's one of those sentimental, sad moments. Doesn't want to see her dad die in a hospital, and yet, here we are. Number 22, how are we supposed to feel about his death? He admits that he lets his family down, and then what? He dies? How are we supposed to feel in this situation? I can tell you how I felt. I felt numb. Not necessarily sad that he was dead, but also broken, yet satisfied. He was such a terrible person, and he had his moments, but my God, how am I supposed to feel about someone who let his family down dying? It's like not having a dad, you know? Do you know anyone who doesn't have a dad? Number 23, why does she leave Eric? She leaves Eric because after the dad died, Jeanette kind of feels like she has to be on the move all the time, and Eric is safe, just a safe person. And Jeanette feels like she needs a balance rather than a foil. How is her whole life full of restlessness now? She remembers being on the move all the time. She remembers her dad, and it's really getting to her. Number 24, why does she go on walks? Again, the restlessness. She has to keep moving, sort of like the dad had to keep moving. She feels like if she doesn't stop, she's going to end up just like him. 25, how does a horrible gift, a planet that she couldn't own, now have a different meaning? Now that the dad is dead, now that Jeanette is having to deal with all this, there's now sentimental value to Venus, to her. This was a gift that her dad gave her, even though the dad wasn't actually allowed to give planet. You can't own a planet. You could say you own a planet, but you're not owning a planet. It's not how that works. You're not stupid, are you? Are you stupid? 285 to 288. Number 1, what is the house like? It's out in the country. It's nice, you know, double-decker house you got there. It's a nice house, 2-story. Number 2, where is Maureen? She's still in California. How's she doing? She's a prostitute. Number 3, how is Grandma Walls different than other grandmas? She's weird. She's bringing weird gifts, trash gifts essentially. She smells strange. She just acts weird. Number 4, what does Grandma Walls win? She and all of her tenants in the building were able to get squatters' rights, and therefore she only has to pay $1 for her place. So she got to stay in her own place. Number 5, how is Brian still upset with his mother? Brian is still upset because he always wanted a mother, someone to care, and yet now Brian feels like because that gap is there, he never got to feel anything. Real sad. Number 6, candle flickers, order and turbulence are mentioned once more. How is this the perfect ending to the book? Well, just like in Jeanette's life, where it's always on turbulence and order, it's either chaos or this order. She realizes that she needs to find the balance. It's the flame flickering on a candle, and it reminds her of her dad. So anytime she sees a little bit of chaos in her life, she immediately thinks of him. Well, that's the end of the book, and those are the end of the questions for Glass Castle parts 4 and 5. If you like this, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next weekly video. Bye, everybody. Bye.